100 on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not pressed with making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for
Good morning all. Hope we're all well. Hope everyone is good. Hope you're all well in Zoom chat. Hope you're all well on YouTube chat. Let me see how all systems go. Let's check. We do look good. Perfecto. All systems do look good, which is always good. And yeah, let's get into it. Yo, Harry, since I got talking to Mackenzie, since you were looking at his mechanic website, turns out he lives 5 minutes from me. That's pretty dope, man. You guys can meet up then. Hope everyone was good. Hope everyone had a good rest of yesterday. Quite choppy price action on GJ for yesterday. Gold tried a little business, breaking out the range, and then choppy inside the range, and then tried later on to break out again. And we'll see what we have for today. So start off on the calendar as always. Today's going to be Wednesday. We have Bailey speaking at 6:15 today. This is definitely a threat for New York session, so we have to be very, very, very careful here with Bailey speaking. A lot of the time you'll see, basically market wait for Bailey to speak here. So, it's going to give us a big guideline. It's probably why we've seen GJ ranging here, because we have GDP and we have Bailey speaking, and Bailey speaking is obviously going to tell us what the Bank of England are thinking for this year. It's the first time that someone official speaks, so it's probably why we're seeing GJ be a little bit rangy, because investors are just waiting for a bit of clarity from the Bank of England in order to see, okay, what's happening, what are their thoughts about interest rates and stuff like that. So I do expect that there should be some good conversation going on, which should give us clarity, and then hopefully we can see some continuation from that. So yeah, New York session going to be tough here. Have to see how that happened, what happens here on GJ, but we will see in terms of London if we can get some volume ahead of these speeches here. So in terms of London, we're okay. London, we don't have any news here, clean for London, and that's basically it, so pretty simple here on the news front. Now, if we're going ahead and looking at analysis here, move drawings like this, start off on the daily time frame. So we can see previous daily here did close bearish. Again, weak bearish close, still respecting that level there at 183 in terms of higher time frame close. All of my guys in the exclusive, you should know about that level there, 183, and you should look at how price is respecting that, and that was our contention zone there, right? Even based on 4-hour candles, you can see this just closed below, but not enough to give us the continuation here. So we can't be 1050% accurate, but we can be a little bit accurate here. So yeah, no continuation here, literally faked out. We were saying that this was a potential fake out zone, and that's exactly what happened there, did fake out. So I do feel if we do break this again in the future, that will be the move down. So this support here is now very, very important, because I feel like if we do end up revisiting down here and then closing below, I feel that gives us the move maybe to retest down here 82 300s, 81 800s, 82, anywhere in this support zone down here. That will give the move. But for current day analysis, obviously we're closing bearish, but with rejection, we are sitting right now at daily resistance. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, similar story. We're closing bearish here. So technically we are a bearish session, but it's a lot of rejection, and we're at the top of the range. So if that's the case, then we have to be careful here. Obviously, buying at the top of the range is the worst place to buy. So if you guys remember how we were trading on Friday, this is very much the same scenario as Friday here. So this was Friday up here, and this is us here. So it's the same thing. We know what happened at the top of the range. Price was just ranging, and it's this very inconsistent zone here, and we have to be careful. So we have to be patient in this zone and make sure that we take options that make sense, and that are going to give us the highest probability to win, which is always the goal, but there's no trying to do any tricky business here at the top of the range. So if we bring back drawings here, we can see that's our 4-hour resistance. We have a 15-minute resistance just here, and then we have another 15-minute up here. So in terms of session today, what I'm looking at, obviously we are creating a support now. This 1-hour candle is trying to create a support. We could just end up chopping it here. If really things get to kick into gear, we could break out of this. If I measure from here to here, I think we have around 9 pips to the 4-hour resistance. Yeah, 8 pips to the 4-hour resistance, and that's it. So the range we're playing with is 8 pips here. So if I wanted to take more of a riskier entry, a very aggressive entry, trusting that price will push through this zone, I could just try to get 8 pips and then move to break even. If not, then obviously I have to be waiting for price to really break out of this zone and get out of this, because this is a huge rejection zone. Every time we hit this zone, it's followed by a massive rejection. And, you know, we have to be super careful buying into that. Obviously, it's the worst place to buy at 4-hour resistance. Obviously, we want to be above. That's where our cleanest buys are going to come once we get above that. So I don't mind waiting till we get above that. And then you have easy price action, right? If we look at what's going on here to the left, there's big ranges here, right? This immediate range, I think, is around 23 pips here. Oh, that's only 13. Never mind. I thought it was way bigger. But, you know, 13 pips. And then, obviously, after 400 here, now we're playing with 30 pips. But you can just see how this is a higher volume zone, right? A lot more easy movement that we got to trade last week, right? So last week we're still living on last week blues, which basically means like last week we were very blessed with very easy price action here, whereas this week here from last week's price action, where am I at now? Looks all the same. There we go. Here's last week's price action, and this week, look at the difference, right? You can see the difference between last week and this week, and that is why it's particularly more difficult to trade during this week here. So overall, you will look back at this like in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, you look back at this and be like, man, why did I force positions in here? Why was I so fast to take a position? You know, it could have been way easier. So it's always the case in the markets, and it's something we have to, you know, take with caution here. It's the beginning of the year. There is no rush to, you know, try and do anything tricky just yet. Yesterday I did try something tricky, got bit for it, but I accounted for that. And I did have, you know, the first week we were blessed to have very easy movement, so definitely built a base which allowed me to do that. So yeah, looking at the analysis here, I feel that, you know, buys we basically want to get outside of the range. Thunderstorm above here would give me confidence to test the 4-hour resistance. A close above here would be the riskiest shot, right? That would give me like a risky shot up to the 4-hour resistance. And if we're going to sell today based on, you know, the bearish bias here, obviously the 4-hour low, we would have to break the 4-hour low, and I think probably sales would come below here. The only thing I'm uncomfortable about is that we've had very bullish pressure here from the bottom of the range. But if we do start rejecting the top of the range, let's say we get a random push out, after a random push out we reject and then start to get below here, there is the possibility that we start to see that downside move here, and maybe below 183,700, that's where basically sells start to make sense, I would say, to try fill this range. Now you'd use this zone right here as a watch zone, right? We would use this as a watch zone here. So that's what we would do, and then you have a nice little range at least to this here and to this, and it's pretty big range in there. So that would be okay for sells, I would say, if we're going to try sells. But obviously trading in this range here, probabilities are just generally going to be lower, so we can't be pissed if we see more inconsistency in our trading, because market's in an inconsistent range. But realize long term it's okay, because this will all balance itself out. It's how it always works. We just need to, if there's an opportunity and we're happy with that opportunity, we can take it, right? So that's how that basically works. You know, it's up to you to make a decision on base what we see. But in here, I'm not trading inside of this range. I don't think this is a tradable range for me. We only have at the break of this lows around, you know, 7 pips to the lows, and then we have around, you know, 9 pips to the highs where we are. So that's not viable for me, not really interested in that. Now if we have a look here at gold, so gold, let me remove some of these alerts. So looking at gold here, we can see that yesterday buys did end up hitting my TP up here, which would have been nice. So eventually the plan did play out, just price wanted to range and chop a little bit more. So took it here, it wanted to retest the bottom of the range. I mean, if I ran super wide stops, it would have played out eventually. So it's nice to see that my analysis was correct. Price is just not ready to break out during London. When did we get the breakout? during New York. So New York gave the breakout, probably makes more sense because that's where we get more volume on gold. So even if you took that exact same trade, but in New York breaking through this zone, that's where your move came, and that gave you that same push, right? That gave you here 46 pip push. So that was the move that happened, right? But obviously I'm not going to run 90 pip stop loss here for no reason. It's not the way I want to trade, but it's nice to see your plan played out and analysis played out eventually, which means you were right for the day. What the direction you picked was correct. What you were expecting to happen was correct. Whatever happened after doesn't matter, but what happened first was what my plan did, right? The only difference is that I wasn't ready to do it in London, did it in New York. But anyways, in New York, you wouldn't find an entry because of what price action developed over London. So that just tells me that gold is not ready for London. And if I look in the journal here, you can just generally see gold is not that consistent in London. People know who are in the group. When I trade gold in New York, it's a lot more consistent. But if we just look at GJ here, 80% compared to gold, only 8 positions taken during London, but 66%. You see the difference and the inconsistency compared to 60 positions taken on GJ here with 80% win rate. So that obviously shows you the difference between consistency of gold in London and New York, right? And probably a bit early in the year to go aggressively on gold. But again, I was happy to take the risk. Why? Because I had a good week last week. So that's how that works. But that's just me recapping, coming in with a fresh analysis and fresh outlook on it, and that's how I feel about that. Overall, not unhappy, part of the game, and we move on. Can't be perfect, and this is how markets work, right? That you can't be perfect, man. You can't be perfect. So let's go have a look at the daily here. So daily time frame here, obviously creating this support here. We're currently working on a daily setup number 3 now. This thing could fill the wick again. Still have that rejection from the bottom of the range. Yesterday's daily candle didn't do much, popped up to test the target that I had yesterday, and then closed back inside the range. 4-hour time frame did get a close below, and now with this 4-hour candle breaking the low, there is the possibility here to come back down to the 4-hour support we have marked here. So that would be your target, which would also be the wick fill on the daily here. So sells do make sense, right? This level right now where we're at is probably your next watch zone here, which is going to be like this 1-hour support. So this is probably where price might reject, basically where it just rejected. You could move this down here to fit it to that, and if you get below that, you do have some sort of range here, about 19 pips. So you have a 19 pip range if you get below that, and that's where sells could make sense. At the end of the day, I'm still watching gold here until I see more consistency come in during London. Otherwise, stick to it during NY. There's a lot more opportunity in that. So I feel if this candle in 11 minutes can close below, that would be the option to continue down to the range here. And that's what I would look at if I was taking positions. But as I said, I want to see more consistency come in gold before I actually start executing. So that would be my plan for gold. Pretty simple plan. For buying in gold, you probably want something faking out and closing back inside the range. If you can get something closing back inside the range, that will give you a fake out trade. And probably back above the 4-hour, which would be here, right? That's 4-hour support. So we can mark that 4-hour support. Oops. And you'd want something closing back above there, which would be on the 15-minute. Back above this. So if something were to close back above this, that's probably where your buys would come. How much you have? Like 10 pips to this. A little bit messy, but if you were to buy, that's where you would do it. I think it's more sell postured at the moment than buying postured. I think more sells make sense than buys at the moment. If you want to be hyper aggressive, you try trade up to this 4-hour support, but that could be tricky. So that's basically the analysis, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. And pretty straightforward. And now we just have to wait, as we always do, and we see what happens. So if you guys enjoyed the analysis, be sure to leave a like. You guys know the YouTube business. Almost 500 of us in here and 70 likes. If we can get the likes up to 150, would appreciate it. It's part of the game. Hate to say it, but it's a YouTube business. Supports. You move around so fast and change time frames, we don't have a chance to see the levels. You can always ask me about the levels afterwards. The analysis, I just quickly run through it. It's not for marking the levels. If you want to ask about the levels, just drop a message and say, hey man, can you just show me your levels on gold, right? I mean, after the analysis, I'll sit here and we'll discuss, and you have a lot of time to mark the levels here. So you can see the levels, anything you're unsure about, you know, you can ask. I don't have an issue. I have entered a sell position on gold at 2025, targeting 2020. You entered at 2025, so basically right where we're at, and you're targeting 2020. I think your target is fine. 2020, you know, that's like your max TP. I don't see a problem with your target. You know, that's the higher time frame target. Whether it does it in London, that is your question, right? Because remember, London doesn't always give us the continuation. Continuation normally comes in New York. So that move might be completed by New York. So, you know, maybe consider something at 2022, closing half or something. You know, just see, take it candle by candle. Take it candle by candle, you know. But yes, I do agree that that's a max TP. Around anywhere 2019 to 2020. Not a bad idea to secure there. Hey Harry, would you make a video on support and resistance and zones? I made something better. I made a full free course. So this is a full free course that has everything from, and it's also timestamped, guys. So I made this timestamped for you. So you can see, like, number one is market structure, right? Which is going to be your support. Then support and resistance, a whole chapter here of support and resistance. And then your zones. So the exact question you ask, can you make a video on support and resistance and zones, is chapter 2 and chapter 3. Look, support and resistance and zones, all done for you for the cost of 0. So make use of that. All you have to do is do a bit of searching and you'll find the answers. What reason you mark the 15 on GJ instead of the 1 hour? Because of this 1 hour being down here, right? And this 1 hour is above here. And then I noticed the 2 wicks on GJ. This is a zone I had from back here. So I just adjusted it slightly to here. You look how it just reacted off it, you see? So I just dragged it to make it slightly more accurate. Otherwise, I would have it where you had it. Where you had it is not wrong. I'm just making it a tiny bit more accurate. Right, bit of movement coming in here. Wonder where this is coming from. So this is interesting to see, similar to yesterday. Maybe we do get the breakout in London. Maybe we're blessed here today and we get some nice volume into the charts and, you know, get opportunity. It's exactly what we want. What's GJ's bias? I would say GJ's bias is mixed. Yeah, I would say it's mixed. There's options for buys and sells. It's always hard to buy at the top of the range though. My most losses come from buying at top of ranges, 4-hour resistance and daily resistance. If I've looked at my trading over 3 years, I would say most of my losses come in these zones. So if I take a trade today and I lose, then I exactly know why I've lost, because these are where most of my losses come from. It's always the way. So I'm just extremely cautious in these zones. Alright, does it make sense 15-minute gold below? Yeah, it could make sense here as long as we get the continuation for sure. That would be the plan, exactly, Chris. Harry, can you take a look at EU? How safe is that close below to continue down for a quick scalp, or best at daily support? Not sure, let's have a look. It's very close to daily support, but we've wicked past that daily support many times. It's a heavy rejection zone, so you just have to be aggressive in this zone no matter what. I don't know how worth it is to this support though. Right, you have this 1-hour support here. So that's not enough, right? Went way too far? Yeah. It's a bit deep now. Quite choppy here. I took it based on the way the candle opened, waited for it to re-break its low, took it, thought that if it re-breaks, am I wrong? Took it on the flip for a wick fill here. Stop loss is wrong. That's the only problem here, is your stop loss. Taking it this early, it is a little bit risky since we didn't close below, but if you're looking at a 4-hour thought process, yes, it makes sense. But I don't like how it's at support. This candle is fine, which is I think the candle you took since it closed below most recent. Yes, it is. So the problem is you can't just keep stop above this high. You have to keep stop loss above previous high, because this thing could come down, reflip, and then take you out, right? You could be stopped here and you're still right. You're still right in the trade even though it flipped. So even though you're right, you don't want to end up losing this trade. You know? So yeah, I would just say stop needs to go above the previous high here. Because imagine you entered this trade and then it reflipped just to make a deeper top wick and then came down. You'd be stopped, but then you're still right, you know? How's this 1 hour candle closing? Hello, brother. Please respond. There you go. I responded. Removing gold in watch list is a great thing. Good morning. Do you think gold will go high before 4 a.m.? I don't know. Does gold smoke? I have to ask gold. Do you use Dixie? I think Dixie could be good for higher time frame analysis. I won't bother with it on lower time frame analysis because it will just be doing the opposite of what. So if you can analyze one pair, you don't have to analyze two pairs to prove that you're right or wrong. You know? Are you in any active trade? If I was in active trade, you'd see it on the screen. Hi bro, new here. To be honest, I have lost faith with all the fake gurus here on YouTube. The amount of them have made me lose hope in this Forex thing. So how do I continue my journey? Forget what they taught? Yeah, I think the first step will be to forget what they taught, because it's obviously not working for you. So you need to try something that works. So I would say stick to someone who resonates with you. And yeah, there is a lot of fake gurus. And for sure, you know, it can be very, very frustrating. But, you know, you've identified them. That's more important. A lot of people don't identify it and live in this fantasy thinking that they know what they're doing, and then just end up, you know, getting scolded by this market. So at the end of the day, you have to just, yeah, unlearn and relearn, and then focus on you, focus on what makes sense for you, focus on all of that, you know. And stick to one strategy. Feels good to be back. Took some time off. Excited to lose my money, my house, my wife, my kids this year. Nah, man. You're going to buy a house, feed your kids, and make your wife happy. Ah. I wanted to ask, in which video of yours do you explain how to use other time frames to enter trades? I do have a time frame video which I basically explain overall basic time frame entries here, you know, but most of my entries are on 15. Let's see if we can find that time frame video. It's pretty much old video here. Time frame, this one, time frame. Time frame strategy. I'm sure I made a recent one as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just that old video there. That's the time frame one. This also will speak about, yeah, here, best Forex entry time frame. This is the updated one. Check this one out. Right, my time frame strategy. This will tell you how I use time frames. All right, Frankfurt open here. No bottom wick on this 1 hour candle. Just drove up immediately. What did gold do? Gold did not close below. Gold did not close below. I thought on gold you use the 1 hour and 5 minute structure, not 15. Yeah, that would be like the main London plan, but that's just one strategy in London. It's not the only way you have to trade London. That's personally the way I prefer. You know, that's the best consistency, but if other people want to try other things, then yes. You can use 15 as well, right? It's just more confirmation. It's even more confirmation. Your hair looks good. Okay, thank you very much. Why is my camera like cropped here? Like my head's cropped. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, that's zooming in. There we go. I'd rather stick to what you have. Yeah, but 15 minutes also fine. You can use 1 hour and 15. That's the set. That's even better than 1 hour and 5 because it's more confirmation. 5 minute thunder on what? Harry, what is a wick fill? It is when candle has a wick and it fills it. Right? So this previous candle had a wick here and then the next one filled the wick. Now sometimes this candle can be a rejection and sometimes this candle can be a wick fill. So you have to be able to identify how's the both between them. And luckily, I'm a very kind person and I made a video on that for you guys. Yeah, wick fill secrets, right? How I trade wick fills. So you're welcome. Do you have a paid course for me to start learning, or is the free course you posted all I need to be profitable? No course will be all you need to be profitable. No matter you pay for it, no matter it's free, to be profitable, you need to apply the information you learn. And if you want to speed up the process, if you want to get profitable fast, when you are applying that information, you need to be part of a community or you need to have access to someone who's more experienced to you to give you feedback on what you've done. Because without feedback, it's going to take ages. But if you're happy for it to take time because you don't want to pay for something, then that's up to you. Otherwise, if you want to make sure that you're guided in the right way and don't waste time, then you need to gain feedback, right? And with the feedback, that's how you're gonna get good fast, right? And make sure that you're not wasting time and wasting money as well, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get impatient because you're trying to learn, and by the time you get impatient, you're gonna go open a live account and then just lose money. So don't go pay someone like $5,000, $2,000 for $2,000 for a one-on-one session. That's just a ripoff, right? That's just a ripoff. If you're gonna pay for anything, look for someone. I mean, obviously I'm going to say what I have, like someone who has a community. If you resonate with them, someone who has a community that's affordable and does what they tell you, not just join my community and you never see them in the community, right? That's the difference. In my community, I'm active there. I'm willing to help. I'm interactive. A lot of people don't have that interaction. Many communities out there are just going to be, the guy tells you what he's doing and then that's it. You know, maybe once in a while drops a message. But that's not really going to help you, right? If your goal is to be profitable, you need to ask for feedback, listen, learn. When something doesn't make sense, ask. And with those answered, I know for a fact Harry is not trying to plug the exclusive group. People ask and it's so hard because it sounds cheesy, like to talk about your group. So I try as much as I can to talk, like just say find something, you know, because it sounds cheesy. Oh yeah, your answer is your answer is to join the group. But realistically, it is what will help. Like, I rather him pay $50 than to pay $500 for some guy's course. Like, really. You know? He'll get a lot more. But it's so hard. That's why I didn't mention it. I don't want to sound cheesy. You know? Any thoughts on what happens when we see a wick fill? Rejection means liquidity grabbed. What about fills? Any thoughts what happens when we see a wick fill? Yeah, fill just means continuation, right? Remember, wicks are targets on lower time frames. Just how we can target a wick on higher time frames, on lower time frames. Like if we look at this on 1 minute, it's an LTA, right? From here to here was an LTA, targeted. This was like a setup 1, right? Price rejected from bottom of the range. Oh, cheesy Harry. Backtesting will make you profitable. It's like school math. Backtesting also is really important. But the problem that many people is they do wrong backtesting. So it's just as important to make sure that when you're backtesting, you get feedback on that backtesting, right? You can see that happen. You can see that happen. Like, let me show you. Let me show you. Here, like here, when people backtest here, you have to make sure that you understand why things go wrong in backtesting. Right? So I encourage everyone in the exclusive group to backtest, but again, they need to understand why they're backtesting. You know, and why in backtesting things might not work out, or, you know, stuff like that. That's why. And that is exactly why I made Pip Labs. So I will plug Pip Labs. Because someone asked here, what application do you use for backtesting? Well, we made our own backtesting software. It's called Pip Labs. V2 is coming out very, very soon, right? You can try the current demo of V1. You can't even purchase Pip Labs at the moment, right? So you guys can enjoy. This is free. You can go practice on V1 for now, right? But V2, right? V2 is coming out very, very soon, and it's going to be revolutionary because we have partnered with Tradingview. So you will be able to backtest on Tradingview, which will be on our platform, but you'll be using Tradingview. So imagine this, but on our platform with our backtesting software. So we're very, very excited. If you want to be part of the waitlist, be sure to drop your email so you can get the offer when we launch, right? Because our server has limited capability, right? And you can't buy. Like here, look. You can't purchase yet, so only waitlist. So for now, you can use the demo, and then when it comes out, you'll see. What will the price be? Will be the most affordable on the industry with the most features. Right? What do you offer Pip Labs that they partner with you? Pip Labs is my software. Pip Labs is my software. This is a software I made with my business partner. His name's Antonio. He's the developer for it. So we own Pip Labs. It's not a partnership. I have total control of this. That's why I'm making it the best software. It is not some partnership. This is something that I've made out of a passion project and something that we wanted to bring to you. Do we get an email verification when we're on the waitlist? No, you'll get what's this called? You'll get an email when it goes live. Downloading candles tips won't load because you're on the old version. Make sure to clear your browser cache. It just loaded for me. You have to go here. If you are one of the first person to load Pip Labs, like if you're the first person, then your browser will still have the old version. So you need to make sure you update to the new version. That's why we're just sending V2 immediately, so we don't have to update V1. Everyone will be upgraded to V2. So you go cookies and site data, and then you go to manage site data here, and you make sure to clear cache, right? And then that will put you on V2, and look, everything loads super fast here, right? Not V2, sorry, it will put you on this mode. and you can see everything loads, right? Candles load, candles skip, and all of that stuff, right? So GJ is trying to break out of this range here. It's interesting to see. It's very, very close to that 4-hour resistance, so I'm not too comfortable buying into 4-hour resistance. Even if I was to take it on 5-minute, I'm just not comfortable at the moment buying into 4-hour resistance. If we just had a little bit more, like 10 pips, 8 pips would be fine, but 4 pips here is a bit hard for me. 4 pips is hard. Unless I went super aggressive and just ripped it break even. 3 pips with spread, man, like come on. I don't think I could do that. And I'm not buying right at 4-hour resistance because that breaks my rules. That breaks my rules. How much for PipLabs V2? You'll be able to pay monthly. So monthly obviously will be super cheap. Right? You'll be able to pay monthly. You don't have to pay outright for the whole software. What's going on with gold? Yeah, gold rejected that support. Best to wait for close below. Is PipLabs V2 included in the exclusive membership? No, you will just get a extended demo version. And if you're in the exclusive group, you will get a heavy discount on PipLabs V2 if you want the full software. Is PipLabs any better than FX Replay? I'm not going to hate on any other one because I have respect for everyone in the industry. The difference between FX Replay and PipLabs is that we offer tick data. So there is tick data, which means you can see the movement, how candles are moving here. Look, see how this is moving tick by tick? That's the same thing you get on PipLabs. You see, it's moving tick by tick. This could be the live markets, you see. Whereas other softwares on browser, they don't allow you to see tick by tick. You have to skip candles. And skipping candles, you don't learn the behavior of candles. You don't learn when to enter exactly. You don't learn how to, you know, trade based on reactions. It's much different watching a market like this than it is watching it, skipping it. Because if I were to just skip 5-minute candles here, it's super easy to say to hold that trade, right? This is easy to trade. But when you're watching it like this, now it's a little bit different. See it go and draw down. Wait for it to flip here. You're like, will it flip? Oh, this candle closed. You know, it's a lot different. Set up 5 on gold, even though it closed bullish. You know, I was saying that it is possible to get up to here, but that's all you have, man. You really have till here, and you have to be hyper aggressive. You know, that's like 5 pips here. And you'll have to run stops below the bottom of the range. Because remember, this could just be a top wick, a higher top wick of the 4-hour candle. Because till we get above that 4-hour support, it's pretty hard to fight that 4-hour candle too early. But yes, I mean, it could be. If you're happy to give yourself more of a riskier option, then it could be. Personally, even if I was trading gold, I personally wouldn't take this myself. Just because of the uncertainty of this 4-hour right here. You know, the only time I would take it if you got a super heavy bottom wick here. Okay, GJ. At least GJ is J, which means opportunity eventually, correct? Because if this thing breaks out and we get heavy continuation, one of these heavy days, there should be a way that we'll hopefully be able to find an entry. And if not, then that's how it is. Your stream rate is very impressive. What does it translate in terms of monthly ROI? Normally, I'm averaging between, on the high end, 20% a month. On average, around, I would say, 10-12%. On the lowest month, maybe around 4%. Last year, January, was my worst month. I was minus 1% last year, January. So last year, January, I was minus 1%. So that's how that is. And for 23, well, as of yesterday, now I'm up 3%. Yesterday I was up 4%, but then after yesterday, now I'm up 3. So we'll see you end of this month. It's already better than 20. Oh, and for 23, sorry, man, didn't read. Total 2023, average or what? Total percent was around 120 something. I'll have to calculate super exact. How do we choose pair on Pip Labs? I was trying to look for GJ. You are on demo mode. Until you pay, then it's going to... you're going to be on the demo mode, so you can't choose. Once you are paying member of Pip Labs, of course. 100% return goals. Yeah, I wouldn't have been at that. I think with commission and everything, commission hit me because if you notice in my strategy, I take break even. So that counts as commission. So if we add commission, it's probably around like 110, 112. That's why I need to calculate it properly because that's your real returns, right? You can say, you know, yeah, 100% is, you know, I'm risking 2-3% a trade. So maybe it's not that impressive. I mean, let's say I was risking 1% a trade, you know, then I'd be looking at maybe around 55% return. Just risking 1%. Just risking 1%, that would be like 55, which is still great. I mean, you guys saw it. I think we calculated how many pips since July here when this started. Actually, this is June. Since June, there was something like 400 pips total. So even if that was a one lot, if you just traded a one lot with 400 pips and took all of these trades, that still would have been, you know, 4K there, you know, 4K made on just a one lot. If that was a 10 lot, that's 40K. You see the difference? So it's very scalable. And that's including losses. And not even including New York trades we've taken. Did gold push up here? Yeah, damn. Gold did do that move to the 4 hour. That's interesting for me to see. So nice little change of structure, setup 5. I was just... that 5 there, oof. I'm really watching gold because gold is it's tricky. We saw what happened yesterday. Don't know if it's ready or not. Need to check. But I guess, yeah, that's that trade, right? You go 6 pips here and you go break even and you wouldn't have been tapped break even. Many say it's impossible. I was talking to someone last weekend about, they laughed at me 100% per annum. Yeah, that's not good, man. They can keep laughing. Your stream, yeah, I just read that. Why is that not updating? Oh, there we go. GJ moving towards resistance? Yeah, exactly. 100% return trading goals? Yeah, you guys will get there, man. It's not that hard. 10% a month, 8% on average a month is not that hard risking 2%. Think about it, guys. If you risk 2% a trade, that's 4 trades. You just need to take 4 total wins in a month. That's 1 win a week. You just need to be up 1 win a week to average that and you'll make... So all of you guys taking 2 trades per day, taking so many trades per day, this is what people don't understand. Like, this is why I'm always pushing on I don't take as many trades as you think. I don't think I take as many trades as you think. Blah, 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 blah. The reason I don't do that is because if I make 8%, then that end of year, that's going to be 100%. And that's 1 good trade a week, right? 2% a week, 4 weeks in a month. That's it. And we're obviously taking more. So you'll have more. Some weeks you'll have less. Some weeks might even be a losing week. Right? Some week might even be a losing week. But it all balances itself out. It's a revolving game. Your first trade of today, your last trade of today is your first trade of tomorrow, right? It's revolving. It just is a cycle. There's no start date, there's no end date. The only end date is if you do something stupid and blow your account. Otherwise, you have that forever. Unless some unexpected event happens with, broker or something, But someone was asking about the 15-minute resistance. Yeah, the reason I didn't mark this 15 is because I'm not trading from the 4 hour to 15. And I think above the 15 is not enough. 9 pips here? Oof. I don't know. We could mark it like this. Maybe hyper aggressive buys could work here. 8 pips. That's if we do close above nicely. I've blown 4 demo accounts. Well, good that they're demo. Hi, I saw that you uploaded your video on your strategy. That was gold. Thanks for sharing. Game changer. Appreciate the work you put in to help. No worries. I'm glad that you found it useful. If you guys enjoying the stream, you know what I'm going to ask for. If we could do the YouTube business, would appreciate it. 600 of us in here. Had 800 yesterday, but obviously we know why people leave. So get up the likes to at least 250. I would appreciate that. Definitely helps, supports the channel, and gets this information out. I'm up 8% on my demo account this month. Amazing, man. Amazing. Any advice for 16-year-old trader? You have time. Don't rush. You are already ahead. Just starting at this age, you are ahead. Think about where you could be in 4 years, 5 years. Don't think about where you could be next year. Right? Don't rush the process. Learn the fundamentals. Make sure that those are ingrained in your head. Fundamentals of trading. Slowly learn to control emotion. Start off with low risk because you have no worries at that age. So slowly start to implement things. You're already ahead. Why do people leave? They're emotional when they don't get what they want. Right? They try to find someone to blame. This is the problem in this industry. A lot of people find someone to blame. Trying PipLab's demo right now. You guys should add keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, wait for version 2. That is still version 1. That is still version 1. Most lack accountability, 100%. Well, actually, this is what happens, right? And this is what I've noticed. People go out, right, and they mess up behind their screen. They'll take losses, they'll mess up in trading, and they'll come to a stream like this, and they have expectations because you are perceived to them as a good trader. And if you don't meet those expectations, they feel like you've let them down. And when they feel like you let them down, they don't want to take it out on themselves because they're too biased against that. They're biased that yesterday they took 3 losses. So who are they going to take it out? They're going to take it out on you. And at the end of the day, they realize they achieve nothing. So it makes them even more frustrated. You get even more frustrated that you've achieved nothing, and then you just end up failing. Whereas if you just sit back and say, this is part of the process, that, instead of me getting frustrated and looking someone to blame, let me be accountable, like Alex said, and find out why I was wrong. Find out how I can improve. How can I get better? And you'll reach way further places in this game. Way further places. Like that's everyone here, like in the exclusives, they know that. And that's why they're getting better every day. Because they want that accountability. They spend time saying, hey, was this right? Was this wrong? Instead of complaining, oh, this was wrong, I suck. You know? These questions, do you think gold, like just asking this is taking accountability, right? All of this stuff, these plans that people take out time, you know, to write, that's accountability. And if he's wrong on this, you bet there's going to be a message here asking, okay, what happened? Right? But if you send it before it happens, you're okay, because then you can get your feedback on it, you know? Especially in this plan section. Like, look at these guys planning in the morning. Are my lines a bit accurate? Right? Is this setup 3 below here? All of this stuff, this, if he doesn't follow this today, right? If Maya doesn't follow this and he loses a trade, he's not accountable to his plan. This is like his waiver. This is like his deposit. He put a deposit today, and if he doesn't follow this, he will lose that deposit. And what will he lose? He'll lose money in the market. Why would people advise teens to go slow? Shouldn't they work as hard as anyone else? You being young, no excuse. If you have goals of an adult, you should be taking things slow, because if you rush, you will burn out. You have time on your side, right? So when you take things, starting trading, you're taking a risk, but you don't have to rush in, blow money, and then at 16, you're not emotionally developed enough. You haven't been through enough. So if you're going to get over emotional, you're just going to put yourself in a very sticky position. I don't know his financial background. Let's say he was good with finances. Let's say his parents worked good jobs. They could lend him a couple of $1,000. And if they lose that couple of $1,000, it's not going to be a big deal. Then I would advise him saying, hey, learn the skill as much as you can, but then take risks on that $1,000, $2,000. Learn to take a loss. Learn to manage money. Learn how it feels to take risks every single day. Like, that's a very priceless skill. You can't pay for that. You have to experience that. That skill can't be taught, right? But if he was in a sticky situation and his parents were tight on money, why would I advise him to take risks that just make his parents even a tighter spot? And now he's losing his parents' money. He's probably then not telling his parents where that money is going because he's embarrassed. Then his parents think that he's gambling, and then he never trades again because his parents say, you can't do this. This is a waste of time. Right? There's two sides to the story. You have to have a full picture. That's what in anything. Understand the full picture. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's working hard. That's what I mean. %100%. But you sound mature for 16, man. You know? But you've taken the first step, right? Look, you're here trying to learn. You're putting in the work, right? I agree with putting in the work. I do agree with putting in the work. That I don't disagree 100%. But what I mean is that you have time, you know? You know, your goal is to get better every single day. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But that's still 5 years, right? Yeah, but that's 5 years still it took him, right? 5 years? Yeah. Still time, right? Yeah. No, but I do agree, you have to put in the work. As a person who started 3 months ago, the countless demo accounts I blew before my first week of consistent profit was 99% of the time was my fault. Yes. It would be. You have to find out why you're wrong, though. The year I finish school will be your 3rd year in. And make sure you're improving year on year. If you're not improving year on year, there's a big problem. You're doing something wrong. I'm not getting an edge. It's been 1 year. 1 year is not that much, though. I've been taking 1 trade a day thanks to your strategy. I've been able to minimize my losses, but I have been losing trades because I don't take the trade to BE and setting proper TP. Yeah, BE and taking TP is very, very important. That is a skill in itself. Next week I have a video coming out that explains that, right? Managing trades. I've been trading since 11 years and still not profitable. I have a full-time job and blown endless accounts. I have everything I need, a strategy, knowledge, but I lack discipline. Discipline will cause it, but your discipline will also come from a strategy. Right? Discipline will also come from a strategy. So make sure your strategy implements discipline. I agree, Logan. You should be working hard. I remember you. You know that's no question about that. You should be pushing hardest when you're younger, but not burning. What video should the 16-year-old kid watch? Yeah, the free course, man. Just start on the free course. That's why I made it, so I can keep referring to it all year, because all of your basic clues are in here. Being 9 myself, slowly getting there, that's cap, bro. That's cap. What do you think about FTMO banning US customers? You think that's a problem? You want to hear something even more crazy? Bitcoin yesterday got a fake announcement that there was an ETF approved. There was an announcement that there was an ETF approved on the SEC, on the SEC's page, okay? That announcement, all right, then later news came out that that was a fake announcement and the SEC's Twitter page got hacked. But magically, when price reached 48K, a lot of people sold on that pump. How did they know when to sell? How did they know? That was all planned. That's what you guys should be more worried about, is that they're like, oh, let me go and, you know, let's pump this so we can get out. Right? That's even more worse. But talking about FTMO, yes, I'll give my thing on FTMO. I won't say I told you so. But my opinion on FTMO is that it is, you know, brokers are having the same problem, right? Brokers are having the same problem in US, and US is the hardest regulatory, and they're coming down. The problem we see is that brokers claim that they're regulated when they're not regulated. And with that being said, you know, as FTMO as a company, they don't want to be doing this. They don't want to be doing this. Why don't they want to be doing this? Because that's a huge client base they've lost. That's a massive client base that they've lost. But they have to do it to protect their company, otherwise they'll be shut down. So until there's a regulatory system that US can adopt for these companies, then it's just going to be very, very difficult, right? And this is what I said. I think, like, I have a 5-year, right? I have a 5-year plan of what will happen to the Forex industry. And I do think that it will play out eventually, because it's just how things work. History repeats, and I do think it will repeat in the Forex industry. Because if we look 15, 20 years ago, the minimum account size you could trade with in Forex is $100,000. You could not trade Forex unless you had $100,000. Like, that's a huge entry barrier. So we're going to see entry barriers start to come in. We're going to see regulation. Not any old Joe can come into the markets here, which is good. We want some form of structure, because it's going to bring serious people. And all of these gurus, they're going to suffer, because now they can't sell their signals. They can't sell all of this. You know, the Forex industry has many layers. This is the layers the industry has, right? No one talks about this, but while we're waiting for this candle to do something, we can talk about it. This is the layers that we have, okay? The layers that we have, right, is layer number 1 is the dream sellers, right? The dream sellers are people who try to scam people, right? They get people into the market, okay? They get people into the market by saying, copy my signal, sign up to my broker. You don't have to know anything about trading. That's number 1, right? Up here is number 1. This is the dream sellers. Then the next layer we have is the gurus. People who want to learn trading and then they'll try learn from the gurus who don't actually teach, right? So this is the top layer. Then we have the gurus. Then we have the semi-gurus here, who are people who do know a little bit, but not enough, still not really the best. Still, you know, smoking mirrors a little bit here and there. And then you have the legit people who really try to make a difference here. But think about it. Someone has to be filtered through all of this before they reach here and actually try learn the skill. So this section here, I would say, this is what's going to go, because this is, you know, all smoking dreams with these unregulated brokers that are, you know, made in one day and have no financial backing and all of this stuff, you know. Why put entry barriers? It will reduce liquidity. It won't reduce liquidity. Most of your orders don't even go into the banks. Most brokers are put you on B-book, so you're not even going, your orders are not going to the bank. And if you think that a retail person with $25,000 account, $50,000 account is enough liquidity, it's not much liquidity. But what I mean by entry barriers is that they'll be like, you know, you can't have these random brokers pop up in 1 or 2 days. That's what we have. You can open a broker in 1 or 2 days. Like, that won't be what will happen. You talk like you're smart, but until now, no trade. Thanks, man. That's a brilliant comment. You talk like you're smart, but until now, no trade. If you want to trade, then go take one. I'm not stopping you, brother. And if you're not happy, then leave the stream. Leave the stream. Because I'm not going to feel pressured to take a trade. Yesterday, I was a little bit excited. GJ was moving. Gold was moving. And if I damned if I do, if I damned that if I don't, right? So then I take an aggressive entry, and then I have to get hate. So I'm not going to feel pressured to take a trade. I'm going to stick to my plan, because I know my plan makes me money. I'm 33, waiting for my third kids and hospital. If we win some losses today, I'm going to name my kid Gbpjpy. Amazing, man. Congrats, congrats. I just wanted you to read my comment out aloud. Yeah, I hope you achieved a lot from that. FTX was regulated. Robinhood was regulated during GameStop. Yes, I don't think it makes a difference. Steve, you're 100% correct. We live in a very corrupt. That's why before I said that, I was talking about how Bitcoin, randomly the SEC, the #1 safest regulation, if they can't protect their Twitter account, how are they going to protect our money? We're supposed to, you know, put our money with the SEC. If they can't even protect their Twitter account from saying a comment that will make people lose hundreds of thousands, and then they say, oh, don't invest in Bitcoin, it's unsafe. Yeah, you're making it unsafe. Please tell me about gold. Yeah, gold pushed up here like a beast, huh? Shit. Matthew's not going to be happy with me. I really didn't think it would do this, of course, when I don't think it would. This was just making me super uncomfortable, this range. But I guess it closed back in this one. Yeah, I think gold now you have to wait till... it's tough now. Here's the 4-hour resistance. Yeah, probably above the 4-hour resistance. But I ain't taking no breakout trade. We saw what happened yesterday, breakout trade. See what happens here with GJ. If this closes back in the range, I don't like to take this as a setup for, guys, because this is bullish price action. And also, it's a rule, you do not take setup 4 in mixed sessions. So write that down if you haven't. Someone has it on their wall. SEC tweet was due to a phone not protected by 2FA. Man, whenever you get logged in by a different IP address, it says your account has been logged in on a different device. Like, come on. Like, they need to be doing something better here. That person is just waiting on signals, won't learn anything? Yes. Bro, can you explain that line on your GJ? Is it an order block? No, that's a 30-minute resistance. That's a 30-minute resistance. What's your opinion on C-Trader? I see many people use it. I've had a few friends who've used it. They seem to like it. It depends, you know, what server they put you on, if you have lag, if you don't have lag. But, you know, it's up to you what user interface you like to use. I only have Harry poster on the wall. Is that bad? What poster do you have? Someone has it on his wall, then got burnt heavily. Can you share a small recap of what you said about prop firms? Yeah, you're fine, Dinesh, because you're not in America. So it's just people in America. Regardless, it was hard to buy 4-hour close on gold. Yeah, it was a tough one. Then what do you think about prop firms who got their own broker and regulations approved? It's only for US customers that it's a threat, right? It's only for US customers that it's a threat. Prop firms will still operate business. It's not going to collapse all in one day. You know? Your face. Uh-oh. Have you ever traded with a prop firm? No. How many trade up setup do you normally take? I normally take, you know, on average, I would say about 3 trades a week. 3 trades a week. Last week I took 4 trades. 4 trades, I took 3 wins and 1 break even. That was my trades for last week. What do you use to trade? I use MetaTrader myself. I trade on MetaTrader. How much capital is needed to trade in Forex? Whatever you want, man. Whatever your capital, whatever you're happy to risk is what capital you can use, right? Just risk 1 to 3% of that capital. Where can I find all the setups? You can watch the video. So the video will explain the setups. Here, my top 3 price action entries. And then to find the PDF, join the free Discord. Once you join the free Discord, go to resources. You can find my 30-day trading plan checklist. You can find the stream journal. And then you can also find the PDF here. If you join the Discord, remember, I will never DM you first, right? I'll never DM you first. And yeah. Check out this pullback. This is why we don't buy that breakout. Anyone who bought this breakout, they're not happy here. 6 pips and goodbye. Give me a sec, I'll be back. Just go toilet. Yeah, it's better, man, better. Yeah, this is probably the best idea, man. Any sort of support above, just to avoid the fake outs. Hey Chizo, all good, man? Maybe now in the shower. I'm joking. All good, all good. Hey mate, could you please explain hedging technique to lock profit? How do you use hedging properly? I don't use hedging, so I can't advise you on it. I've never used hedging, so I'm not sure. I just think it's super hard to hedge, man. Super hard to hedge. Like it's a whole strategy in itself. Like you have to really know what you're doing. You know, it's not as easy as people make it seem. It's not as easy as that. If you take a buy and you take a sell at the same time, your sell goes in profit, your buy goes in drawdown, then close your sell, and then your buy goes back in profit, and you no, it's not that hard. It's not that easy. Sorry, it's way harder. Try it. Yeah, you know. No, I'm the same, man. I don't get what's easy about it. It seems hard. It's a whole strategy in itself. I think with me, the thing is that rarely my trades experience much drawdown, right? So since my trades don't experience much drawdown, if you go back and watch all of my trades, you can go watch all the trades. Many of them don't have much drawdown. So I would just be blowing so much money trying to hedge that. Yeah, but that's different. That's to get him out of drawdown, not on a one position. What's your advice to new traders who want to be a funded trader? Learn the skill. You ain't going to be funded if you don't have the skill. Even if you pass a funded challenge, only then the challenge starts, because then you have to make money. So if you not have the skill anyways, you're not going to make money. When are we buying? Buying plan for me, I probably think if we get some heavy volume, there could be a quick scalp to try get to 300 here and then move break even. Because at least we'd be above the 4-hour resistance. Any buys since we tapped the 4-hour resistance now, I want it to be above the 4-hour resistance. So I think if we can get above the 4-hour resistance here, then I don't have to worry buying at resistance. I'm buying above resistance. And since we have this structure made, right, since structure is made here, then I can rely on price respecting that and at least get me to 300 and see what's up. Yeah, it's a lot of rejections here, but that's the only option we have today. And if volume comes through, there's no reason why we can't push. Even if it does end up failing, there's no reason why we can't have a small push up here or wherever it wants to go. Of course, it's a riskier zone to take buys. We're buying at the top of the range. Worst place to buy, but it's the only option that I think we have. I just scalped Euro USD with the Thunderstorm. Nice. Thunderstorm is powerful, man. Which pairs should we trade in London? Pairs that have bank opening. So like GBP, Euro, you know. Harry, some people say not every high should be considered market structure. What do you say for that? Yeah, market structure should be considered in terms of candle body closes, not highs. Gbpjpy is crazy going down. It's not going down at the moment though. I seen Euro USD. That news didn't like it and no bottom wick. Yeah, did we have Euro news? Little bit, but this shouldn't do anything. Looks like GJ here is waiting for Mr. Bailey to have a speech here. Candle body closes, yeah, like this. This is a body, that's a wick. So you always want to mark based on bodies. Thoughts on gold? Yeah, gold now at the top of the range. There's going to be no buys till we get above the range here, but you need support above. This counter trend buy here was cool, but it's very early. In terms of early, not in terms of time, but early in terms of 4 hour at that time was closing bearish. So it's hard. So probably support above this zone. Taking direct breakouts, I need to see that start working again to have confidence. But again, as I said, I'm looking at gold now, watching it until it's ready to trade in London. You know, gold is a better pair to trade in New York. That's just facts. Why can't we see Bank of Japan intervention? Yeah, we don't want to see Bank of Japan intervention. Bank of Japan can not intervene, thank you very much. Unless I'm in sales, then send it to 0. We don't see Bank of Japan intervention because they've gained a lot of strength. This Jixi here, when we were having intervention, this was all the way up here. This is where the interventions were. So now that this has come down and we see the Jixi as well bouncing off the lows, we're fine. All the interventions were coming when this was making new lows. When we were down here at these lows, we were getting interventions. Now that we're up here, we're kind of safe again. That's why we're not getting these interventions. If this starts making new lows again, then yeah, they're going to intervene. When the news, New York session. You sound low, you should raise your head. Yeah, I was plugging something in. Just charging something. Wonder if a smart guy would read it out aloud again. I said, why no trade? Yeah, no trade because you're here. When you leave, I promise I'll take a trade. How about that's the deal? So guys, he has to leave the stream. When he leaves the stream, I'll take a trade. So it's a tough spot. You have to make him leave. I want to join the group. Am I late? How many spots are left? Oh yeah, there is only 2 spots left of the group. Once that fills up, of course, it will close. So yeah, we have 2 spots still left, which is nice for anyone who has an opportunity. You're not late. You're not late to join, but yeah, 2 spots left open and you're welcome. Before someone asks, here's all the information about the group. You get access to all my exclusive content here. This is my strategy. And yeah, you basically, that is taken from webinars and stuff like that. But this video explains everything. I hate repeating myself, but yeah, that's how it is. You can just watch the video on the website. The website will explain everything. But the website video doesn't show you, I move the content to WAP. So when you join, you'll get this content on WAP, but it shows you that you can get the same content here. But yeah, this is really good stuff in here. A lot of gems. And then you ask me in the webinars, you ask me on Zoom. So they're on Zoom here. The number one thing that I want to make sure if any of the next 2 people are going to join is that when you learn something, speak to me about it on Zoom, right? That's what you're there for. That is what you're there for. You're not there for just to sit. You have the opportunity to speak. Not like other places where you pay $500 for a course and then you never see the guy ever. You never get to ask him a question or anything. All right, London Open here in 2 minutes. This 1 hour would be nice if it got above the 4-hour resistance. That would be amazing for London Open. That would be easy London Open. What's the whole part of the intervention? Yeah, so basically Bank of Japan in November, right, in November, Bank of Japan was intervening on GJ, which means randomly, without announcement, they would come and they would buy up the yen, which would randomly dump it super fast, 100 pips in like seconds, and they didn't announce it. So you could be in positions and boom, suddenly you've lost your position. If you could pick only one pair on NY session, what would it be? Yeah, probably gold. I would probably pick gold or US 30. Gold or US 30, something like that. How do I join your group? The link is in the description. I just posted it in chat. I'll post it in chat again. But it's in the description also. Same link. Bro, I have a very important question. When you reply there's a gap in buying and selling, why can't we buy on the ongoing price? When there is a gap buying and selling, why can't we buy on you can buy on the ongoing price. That might be your broker playing games with you. You should be able to buy whenever you want. Do you prefer day or swing trading? I prefer day. What strategy do you use for trading? I use, oh, is that what he means? Like that gap when we press buy? Yeah, that's spread. Oh, that's what he means. Okay, okay. Take any trades? No, I'm still waiting. We just had London Open now, and London Open very anticlimactic here. Not really much of anything happening here on London Open. We need to get above this 4-hour resistance to see any buys here. Which is expected, top of the range. This is exact same as Friday. Exact same as Friday. And I think New York will be the same, especially with Bailey speaking. Unless we break out of this zone, there's not going to be much. So that's how it is. It's just waiting for price to break out the zone. As soon as price breaks out the zone, we have options. So we just sit and wait till that happens. What's good spread for GJ? 1.5 pips max. 1 pip is good. 0.8. I'd say not over 1.7. Feel like market's waiting for news to give direction? Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. But we'll see. Maybe it kicks into gear here and it starts trying to get back above the 4-hour resistance. Do you ever trade Sunday gaps? No, I don't trade Sunday gaps. I'm sleeping at that time. Do you invest in low market cap crypto as well? No, I stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Is 4.2 points on gold normal? No, that's too much. 4.2 is too much. That's way too much. How do you calculate pips and lot size for gold? You just use the measuring tool and divide or times by 10. So let's take this candle here. You take this number on this candle, right? You take this number here, divide it by, times this by 10, so that will be 23 pips. Or you take this number here and divide by 10, which will be 23 pips. Obviously the same. Your village just called me. They're trying to reach you as they're missing an idiot. Damn. Is it better to trade one pair or only two pairs per session? I think one pair per session is very powerful. There's no harm in two though. There's no harm in two. I don't think there's harm in two. I'm not against it. But I do also like trading one pair per session, as I think that is also very, very, very powerful. What sessions do you trade? London session. That's my main session. New York, I'll just look at it occasionally. Like I'll set alerts and then just be active, you know, because I know people trade New York and I'm happy to, you know, be active there. But it's not my main session. It's not my main session. But if I see nice opportunity, I don't mind giving it a shot in New York. No doubt about that. You know, no doubt about that. But I'll not sit at the screen here because I want to do other things. You know, the whole point we start trading is to do a part-time job that yields a full-time income, you know. So sitting at the charts all day, I feel like I have to do something. Like no matter how good your emotions are, the more you sit at the chart, you feel like you have to do something. Like you haven't done enough. And that's probably going to lead to FOMO. You're probably going to FOMO into positions because you're sitting at the charts for so long. You're like, oh, damn, I've been sitting this long at the charts. I need to at least take something. And then you try find excuses, you try find a way to take a trade, and that never works out. Whereas if you have a main session that says, okay, this is the time I'm going to actively look for most of my positions, and if I don't find a position here, I'm just going to wait till the next session, set alerts, and trade my plan based on that. You're not going to have FOMO because you're not missing out on anything because it's not your main session. But if your alert triggers and there's a setup, then hey, you can take a trade. Never good to trade daily? I don't think, I think if the market has opportunity, you're fine. But if there's no opportunity, then you shouldn't be trading daily just because you want to take a trade every single day. You take a trade when there is a trade. And that's it. Why did you decide to only trade one pair, not two? I do trade two pairs. I trade gold, but my main pair is GJ here. Gold in London is just typically inconsistent. In New York, it's way more consistent. And anyone will tell you that. Anyone will tell you who's trading gold that in New York, it's just a lot easier. So why should I put myself in more of a difficult position? And I can see the stats on gold. What kind of setup are you waiting? Something to get above 209 here. If something can get above 209, we have this wick fill. It is risky position because we're top of the range, but it's the only option I have for today. So since we're beginning of the year, I don't mind risking my profits here because it's okay. It's okay. But what I do mind is people tailing me and then complaining about what I do here. Because I'm doing this for me. It's the way I want to manage my trading. What broker do you use? IC. No broker? If I was not using a broker, then how would I make money? Yeah, I'm not affiliated. Yes, that is correct. I am not affiliated. If a legit broker wants to affiliate, I'll be more than happy. So I can put more capital in there and trust them. I wouldn't mind running like a deeper 6-figure account. But for now, I'm happy risking higher percentage of a deep 4-5-figure account. Because as long as you're risking 4 figures, as long as your account can handle 3% of that, it's fine. Target 209, close above 209, target top of range. I would try target to get past this, you know. I'd hope that volume continues through. It's not enough for me just to close here, right? 6-7 pips, but it's enough for us to get to break even. It's enough for us to get to break even. So we would want to push past, you know. I'll probably say I target this. Just anything plus this will be okay. I'll be happy with it. And if I can get to like 400, I'll be happy. This wick here, 379, you know, that's fine. Where's 379 from here? Yeah, you know, that would still be worth it. Yeah, B spot, yeah, for sure. I mean, this trade here, statistically is like 65% win rate because we're buying top of the range. If you ask me where's the worst place to buy, right here. So I could make a decision and just say I'm not trading this top of the range. Or I could just risk another percent because beginning of the year, you have the whole year to trade. So it's not really a big deal if you look at it like that. That's how I treat trading. Like, your job as a trader is to take risks. So whatever you're comfortable doing, you can do. If you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you lose 1% and you're upset, then you just leave this whole zone. Don't trade this zone. Yeah, just don't trade this zone. Stay out of it. You know, but then you can't be pissed if this 60% hits, right? And we start flying, you know. You've made that decision, you sit patiently and you wait for your next options above this zone. How did you start off trading? What is your story? It's a little bit of a longer story, but on my website I have a About Me section. That gives you a small story. So that'll give you a short story here if you're interested. And yeah, that's why I put it there. My website link is in the description if you want to read that short story. Do you know there's different volume flow between GJ and NAS? I trade GJ during London session, but I trade NAS during New York. Seems to be more profitable in NAS than GJ. Yeah, GJ is a pair you have to understand a little bit more. NAS you get a bit away, but it can also eat you up very quickly, right? It can also eat you up very quickly. As long as we keep respecting this 4-hour resistance here, there's no continuation. You scalp, yeah, you could call me a scalper here. When do you say the next big news? We have some speeches later today that could do something. Yeah, I'll be putting it below the wick is where I would keep stops. Below support, 2 big stops. I would rely on this to hold the trade here anyways. Anything closing back inside the range, I'm just going to manage it because we're at top of the range. I'm even still contemplating if it's going to be worth it or not. I don't have to take this trade at the top of the range. But we'll see if this 15 gets above 4 hour, that's a good sign at least. I mean, if it closes above 30 here, we will see. If we get a good bottom wick or something. Are you gonna trade? No, I'm not. Discussing it. Any trader will have to be above 209 here. This is resistance. I'm not buying into resistance. It's the 30-minute, see? But we'll see if this, look, this 15 minutes not even closing above 4-hour resistance. Minimum, we need something above 4-hour resistance. So if this 15 minute can close above 4-hour resistance like it is trying right now, then maybe I can be aggressive on 5 above here because then I have this close at least. Yeah, there you go. So we did close above 4-hour resistance. So if I'm going to be aggressive now, I need a bottom wick on this candle and then maybe some sort of structure on 5 minute and then a close above. A close above this, I'll be okay to go. You can see the reaction already, how it rejected. That is telling me that this is a rejection zone, which we knew already. So we need to be patient here, right? Need to wait for the setup. We don't have a close above there. Nothing has closed above there. Not even a 5 minute has closed above there. So we need to see structure form, 5 minute pullback, then close above to use 5 in this. 840, yeah. 821. Oh, and your brokerage was 40? Yeah, no problem. I mean, if this makes a deep bottom wick here and retests this zone, even breaking this high here can give you like a half, you can go half risk first to break the high so you don't miss it and then add the rest on the close. Because now this is giving you a nice bottom wick here, right? SL, you have to run it below the 15 minute previous, this one here. Gbpjpy will crash hard. This is overvalued. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's overvalued since here, you know, we just have to follow the trend. The trend is our friend till it ends. Hey bro, recently my strategy has been in a losing streak since mid-December to now. I don't know if it's slow market conditions. Check how many trades you're taking. Maybe try to take less trades and choose better options. until you notice consistency come back and you see your opportunities play out. So yeah, of course we see more inconsistency towards end of December and beginning of January. January's just started, so don't worry about your strategy being inconsistent now. It's just because we've only on the second week of January and we're midweek, you know? We're midweek. So don't worry about that. You know, like if we look at the first week of January, we were just lucky we got really nice volume. My broker has no top wick on previous 15 close, not even nipple. Let me have a look at mine. Mine does though, mine does. Yeah, yours is really, yeah, I believe you, don't worry. Mine does have the same, mine looks the same as this. If some brokers have wicks and some and others don't, how do we know? Yeah, it's a tough spot like that. It's a battle of the brokers. I always say trust your broker, you know, but if the majority, then you just have to, like, that's why if we have a community, just see what most people in the community have and then go with that. If most people have no wick, then yeah, you probably should go with no wick. If most people have a wick, then yeah, then maybe you can let that one slide, you know. Why yesterday gold was in bad structure, we couldn't understand yet. Just wasn't ready to break out. Needed more volume. London can be like that. If you notice, the volume came during NY. NY, it just ripped. In on this trade. That looks good. Euro USD. Use that 15-minute as a watch zone. TP top of the range. Do you think the fact that Japan has had a tsunami warning recently, it could be the cause for the bullish movement last week? No, I don't think so. Because they had another earthquake, unfortunately, and that has not caused the same reaction. How do you prefer taking trades in London or NY? In London, of course. Personally, I don't like NY as much as London. London's a lot more, well, for my pair, you know. NY has opportunities, but it's always frustrating when there's a, you know, if we look at the whole year, there's always a lot of news in NY, you know. So you're always sitting waiting for news and then have to take a trade after. So if you're just trading that as a session, it includes a lot of sitting around doing nothing, especially when there's news. So that's why I like to keep it as a secondary session. If there's no positions before news, Then I just wait for news, let news settle down, and then set alerts, you know? Reanalyze, set alerts, and then come back to the charts when those alerts hit. Instead of sitting there waiting for news, you know? It's frustrating. And then news comes out, everything is messed, then you feel FOMO, then you're like, oh my god, you know? And also in NY, if you trade London going into NY, you don't have to sit and watch NY because you've watched price action build from London to NY. Since you've seen that build, then guess what? Then you can go and you don't have to sit there and analyze too much in NY because you've seen it build. Should I go BE on EU? What's EU doing? Yeah, man, we're at this resistance. It wouldn't be a bad idea, right? That's obviously target from 15-minute support to 15-minute resistance is one target here. Is it even enough to close though? 6 pips. No, you know, you could use this as a watch. But, you know, technically, this is where price has to reach on 15. If we're basing this on a 15, there's no continuation till we push past. So, you know, this is a good spot to go BE. It makes technical sense, right? Technically, it makes sense to go BE here. We are at resistance, right? Watching your live stream became... What does BE mean? Yeah, it means moving stop loss to entry, right? You move stop loss to entry. That's what BE means. Your chart looks nasty. I don't think it's that bad. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Did you live stream every day? Today is my first day. Yes, we live stream Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, we live stream. Lol, you've seen mine? Yeah, I mean, your charts are going to look how you want them to look, right? I'm putting all the important levels. Nothing on here is just for fun. It's all important stuff, you know? Why do you prefer GJ over GU? I think GU has more volume. I think it's the opposite. I think GU has less volume. GU has good moves as well. You know, GJ is a little bit more exciting though as well. GJ is definitely a little bit more exciting. Thanks. I will join you on your live streams. What strategy do you use? I use price actions. Yeah, guys, you're welcome to join all the live streams. I appreciate everyone showing up. It's a pleasure to have you on stream. Be sure that you leave a subscribe so you can show up to future streams here, right? Be sure so you can show up to future streams. And yeah, leave a subscribe. What do you think GJ trying to do? GJ ranging, man. GJ is not doing much. It's trying to get above this, but we're keeping safe by waiting for something to get above this. Waiting for at least 5 maybe to close above would be the earliest here. This 15 close is not too confidence inducing. It could give a setup 3 here based on 15 if we technically break this high here, but I would prefer to add the 5-minute as well, closing above. This is the 30-minute close. This 30-minute close is also very not confidence inducing. You really wanted to see this 30-minute close above here. Right, because now 30-minute hasn't closed below 4-hour above 4-hour resistance. I mean, we still have 2 minutes here. A lot can change in 2 minutes, so we shall see. If this wasn't the top of the range, if this candle closed above 4-hour resistance, I would go break of this high to tap into here. But since this is the top of the range, I don't want to get caught in a fake out liquidity grab. I will wait for a 5-minute closing above this range. Because at least the 5-minute will give me that extra confirmation on top of having the 15-minute close, the setup 3 active as well, and then a 30-minute bullish close, and you know the previous 1 hour obviously closing bullish here. It looked like that the 30 wanted to close above. It was trying. Like, this is why it's so important to wait for closures, because last minute, look, this is the last 20 seconds. Price was literally here, and now it's down here. Like, you could have been triggered if you went early, you're in the trade, and then in the last 20 seconds, the whole trade changes. Whereas when the close is, we're confirmed that that's the close. We can't change that. Yeah, so 30 still closing above the support here, but again, rejecting the top of the range. Look at that. And it looks like we are in Crab City. Told you it's going to be big resistance. Yeah, I'm not arguing against you that it isn't big resistance. It's what we're discussing here. Got nice 7 pip on EU. Nice. Well done, man. Good trade. Come on, GJ. I've ordered lobsters for lunch. What is gold doing? That's a nice open on gold, huh? No top wick. Juicy on the flip for a wick fill. 5-minute structure has been made as long as this is respected. Closed above this resistance. How much is the wick fill? 12 pips. Yeah, if this was New York, that would be my trade. But as I said, I'm still watching it. So that would be my trade if this flips. And GJ is trying here. I'm in a 20 pip drawdown in GU, bearish candle close below support, but I didn't wait for confirmation to continue down, got caught out. Let's have a look what's going on. Yeah, nothing broke the low, man. Right? No bottom wick as well. You can't just enter when something just rips. And if you took this close here, then that's definitely a break-even trade. This close was fine. 10:30 close, that was an okay trade in GU. Give you 6 pips here. But yeah, otherwise I don't see this second one here, definitely not an entry. Because we're at this 1 hour support here, you know, this is why this trade, anything plus here was just free money. So this 15-minute trade is to try break through it, which is risky. The one that closed below the 1 hour, nothing broke the low, so you couldn't enter. So probably, let's say you didn't enter this one had no entry because it didn't break the low. If it broke the low, then yeah. Hi, what's your thoughts about buying before the flip of the candle, anticipating? Yeah, that's a possibility as well. That's a possibility, slightly more riskier. But yes, that you could play it like that. If you're happy to take that risk, then yes, you could play it like that. Hi, was there no entry on 5 minute on gold? Let me see the 1 hour close. 1 hour close below the range, so not based on 1 hour. For 5 minute entry, this would be, but you're at resistance, so it doesn't count. At resistance, it doesn't count. You still have to consider resistance. So no. See if GJ wants to close above here. Give us a 30-minute break of the high. 15-minute setup number 3. We shall see. 46 seconds here for it to close above. Today I'm only taking closures, so if it doesn't close above and rips, that's too bad for me. But that's my rules. We're at the top of the range, so I need it to close above here. So we'll see. Gives me a bottom wick, then that'll be fine. Tap that 30. Really wants to do it, huh? 2 seconds. Damn. I mean, closed above this 5 structure here. No bottom wick on this 5 minute. I can't enter based on that. If this makes a bottom wick and flips, you could go aggressive break of the high. But I really wanted something closing above that 30-minute resistance. Especially at the top of the range. So I'm happy to sit this one out. You know? Especially with no bottom wick here. This makes it tough for me, you know, especially not closing below, no bottom wick. But yeah, if this did close above, this is the trade. So for my own reference, I'll see if this plays out or not. Would be interesting to see here, but you know, it makes sense to continue up here. It's just not my confirmation that will make me comfortable taking this trade. Right? And that's you seeing pure discipline here. Because, trust me, 3 years ago, I'm FOMOing into this. That will do. I would say that. I would say, that'll do. And either get lucky today or I won't. But top of the range, only reason top of the range, this makes it tough. But if I took it, I would be in break of the high and then immediately break even at the top of the range here. 100%. And there you go. Triggers everyone into a trade and now in drawdown. Is 10 trades a week bad? Depends on your results. How's your results taking 10 trades a week? That's around 2 trades a day. It's you know, if you're taking 1 trade a session, it's fine, but how's your results? If your results are good, then you're fine. If your results are bad, then probably you're taking too much trade. So it's result based. Now it's like watching paint dry at the moment. Do you usually do 20, 30 pips stop? No, normally my stop is range from like 15, 16 pips, 14 pips. I posted a plan that I had this morning. Can you take a look at it? Yeah, of course, man. This is the gold. Yeah, that was the gold option. Smelled an answer cold. Nice. This is my plan. Japanese open here. Asian session. Yeah, I like that Asian session. Setup 1. That is definitely fine. Good trade, man. It was okay. It was okay. For Asian session, for sure. Setup 1. Close above. Stop loss was perfect. You set TP. I probably would have gone more aggressive with TP here. Since you took it here, I would have put TP probably somewhere up here. But the 4-hour resistance is also not too much of a bad idea. Alright, let's see if this 5-minute will close above here. Let's see if this 5-minute will close above. I shouldn't have said anything, guys. I shouldn't have said anything. Now look at this BS. As soon as I said it, huh? Last 20 seconds, it might... Oh, it's playing. Slow down, slow down, slow down. How many pips do I have to this resistance, man? 2 pips? Shit. 5 pips to here. Make my life hard, man. Makes my life hard. Yeah, I'm sitting out. I don't think this is valuable for 5 pips to take this risk. To take this risk here. To run stops here. 19, 20 pip stops just for 5 pips and hope that it breaks through. I think we'll have better trades with better stop losses above. Yeah, I think there'll be... This is just feels like forcing it. You know, I think there'll be better trades above 300. So yeah, I think that's my plan, guys. I'm going to wait for 300 here. Until something gets above 300, I think that's the way I'm going to plan it. We are top of the range, so there's no rushing buying at the top of the range. And yeah, it didn't give me something that I was comfortable here with, and that's fine. This is how it is. I was expecting this coming into today, being at the top of the range here. If this 4-hour can close like this is a very important 4-hour close. Will give us great opportunity, you know, to continue from tomorrow. Maybe we'll see what news does, if news doesn't mess things up. But yeah, that's basically what I think I'm going to wait for. If you want to risk it for the biscuit, going right now on this 5-minute close could be an option. Right, that's basically now tapped your resistance, which we just rejected. So if we tap this resistance now, you have to hope that volume comes in and pushes through. You need volume to come in and push through right now. If not, then this is where, see that rejection, now it's uncertainty. So you have to, maybe you get lucky and it won't come to entry here, but now it's like that 5-6 pips you have to wait. So I'm going to wait for above 300. Yeah, typical. This is the one that push. Let's see. Maybe we get a position now on this. 3 minutes for this close. Let's see, let's see. Let's see on this close. Give me a sec, I'll go toilet before this closes. Obviously here it's going to be a negative risk to reward trade because we have bigger stops here. Stops are 23 pips here. Don't need to run it on this low because we have two ranges that we can rely on. But if this pushes any further, then nah, I'm good. 1 hour is super clean. 30-minute also very clean. Has to close above though. "26 seconds, what will we say? If it doesn't close above, then I just have to wait till later, till something does close above. Come on, do a little bit deeper close. Don't give me this type of BS here. How did it close? Damn, close below, guys. Close below. This thing can do what it wants to do now. That is not my entry confirmation. I'm going to wait for something above here. 15 minutes. I'm not going to sit around here for 15 minutes. So yeah, wait for something above here, 300. And that will be the trade, guys. That'll be the trade, something above 300. So I'm going to wait around a little bit more. This 30-minute close might be the one here. Again, 15-minute, no bottom wick at the moment. So let it make a bottom wick and then wait for the 30-minute close. And hopefully you guys can capitalize on that. It's getting a little bit late now. It will also be the 1 hour close above. So that could be a nice opportunity as well. You'll have the 1 hour, the 15. But yeah, here the 15 makes its bottom wick and respecting the top of the range. So it will be good to wait for the next 15 to close above here, which will also be the 30 minutes. So that's that. I appreciate everyone showing up as always. Unfortunately, nothing much. We got stuck in all of this chop. And then, yeah, there was not really much options here. Too risky to buy in 2 pips to resistance. Long term, that's not a good plan. But anyways, I would have been break even on this trade. So let's see if I would have got tapped out or not. Yeah, that gave you 10 pips there. And we're at that resistance, so it would have been break even anyways. So if I got this extra push here, it would have been nice. But I'll take note of that. So appreciate everyone showing up as always. Take care and hopefully catch you guys on the next stream here. Hopefully by tomorrow we're out of this zone so we can look for some easy trades here. Very difficult trading in this range. A lot of choppy price action, as you can see. It's a lot different when we start trending again. It will be a lot easiest, right? It will be a lot easier when we start trending. But yeah, look, this is now reversing. This would probably tap me up break even, you know. So yeah, with that being said, guys, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Peace.